Over the course of your employment with Mr. Depp, have you seen him consume alcohol?
I have.
How frequently?
It ranged. Sometimes I wouldn't see him drink at all, and there'd be other times he, would have a glass of wine or two.
And based on your observations, how would you describe Mr. Depp's demeanor after drinking alcohol?
His demeanor is the same as if you were talking to him. I would joke around with some of the other security personnel. He's, my terminology would be he's kind of too cool for school. He goes into that kind of Jack Sparrow mode, and he just, he's very likable, whether he drinks or he doesn't drink.
Based on your observations, have you ever seen Mr. Depp appear intoxicated?
Objection leading.
Overruled, I'll allow it.
I've seen him slightly intoxicated.
And again, based on your observations, what is Mr. Depp's demeanor like when he appears slightly intoxicated?
It's the same as if he, had a glass of sparkling water. I mean, he's just very low key. He's easy to get along with. And, he just seems to me, he handles alcohol a lot better than I would.
And over the course of your employment with Mr. Depp, have you ever seen him consume drugs?
I haven't.
Are you generally aware that Mr. Depp has used drugs over the years?
I am.
And how are you aware of that?
From him.
Do you know who Miss Herd is?
I do.
Who is Miss Herd?
She is Mr. Depp's ex-spouse.
When did you first meet Miss Herd?
It probably would have been around 2011, 12 maybe around 2010. It was some time ago.
And how did you first meet her?
She came over to his Hollywood estate.
And would you please describe for the jury some of your early interactions with Miss Herd?
She was very pleasant, very easy to get along with. She was almost as if she was a next door neighbor, just always had a smile to her face, and no issues at the time. And, I liked her a lot.
In the early days of Mr. Depp and Miss Herd's relationship, did you have an opportunity to observe them together?
I did.
How frequently?
In the early stages, it was kind of on a part-time basis because a lot of times, he was traveling or he was out of town working on films and so forth. But when they were in LA, I saw them quite frequently, which could have been the days that I worked, which varied anywhere between 4, 5, 6 days a week.
And based on what you observed of them together, how would you describe Miss Herd's relationship with Mr. Depp when they first started seeing each other?
Yes.
Objection foundation.
All right. Foundation.
Your Honor, I believe I've laid the foundation that he saw them frequently together when they first started dating.
Sir.
How he would describe their relationship is
All right.
not the foundation.
I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
After Mr. Depp and Miss Herd started a romantic relationship, did you become familiar with any of Miss Herd's family or friends?
I did.
Which ones?
Her sister, Whitney Herd, her good friend, Raquel or Rocky Pennington, another friend, Io Tillett-Wright, Miss Pennington's boyfriend at the time, Josh Drew.
And did you have an opportunity to observe Mr. Depp's interactions with Miss Herd's family and friends?
I did.
And how would you generally describe their interactions?
He was very open and warm to them. He, offered them, whatever they needed. They were constantly coming around the estate. Eventually he let a couple of them live in his penthouses downtown for free. He would let a few of them drive his nice Dodge Challenger in and around town and take on trips.
Did you have an opportunity to observe how Miss Herd's friends and families treated Mr. Depp?
I did. They were obviously very pleasant to him because, from observing, they were taking advantage of him. So they were being obviously extra nice to the hand that feeds them. And that's just progressed over a period of time.
How did Miss Herd interact with you?
Yes.
Objection, relevance.
All right. What's the relevance?
It's just background, Your Honor. It's
I'll sustain the objection and move on.
okay. Were you ever present, Mr. Bett, for any conversations amongst Miss Herd and her friends?
I was.
Can you describe any particular one that stands out to you?
Objection, Your Honor. Leading calls for hearsay.
All right.
Well, to the extent, Your Honor, we're offering Miss Herd's statements. It's not hearsay.
All right. Well, if you can lay a foundation to that, let's see we go.
Do you recall any specific instances, Mr. Bett, where you heard Miss Herd say something to her friends?
I do.
Okay. Can you describe one of those situations?
Yes. The first one, I was taking her from Mr. Depp's property to her apartment in the south end of the city that I believe Mr. Depp was paying for. She was sitting next to me in the vehicle. She was talking to a girlfriend or a friend where they were talking about another male. And she says to the girlfriend, whoever she was talking to, all men are idiots. You shouldn't trust that guy. And then she turned to me and she said, sorry, Sean, not you. I didn't mean that. And I just shrugged it off like it's not a big deal.
Do you remember approximately when that conversation took place?
I would say probably maybe 2012 or 13 perhaps even a little bit sooner than that. It was a long time ago.
And over the years of Miss Herd's and Mr. Depp's relationships, did you have an opportunity to observe how the relationship evolved?
I did.
And
Well, I'll just see what the next question is.
Thank you.
That's fine.
did you notice any changes in the relationship between Mr. Depp and Miss Herd?
Objection, vague, foundation, relevance, and leading.
All right. Well, I'll allow it if you could get a timeline set in there. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Did you notice any changes in the relationship between Mr. Depp and Miss Herd after the initial stages of them beginning to engage in a romantic relationship?
I did.
And would you please describe those changes that you observed?
Well, I noticed they went from being that loving, almost like high school couple where they were very giddy towards each other. He was very happy. She was very happy to, they started to argue. They started to argue periodically, and then the arguing started to progress more and more and more. And it was always taking place because, Miss Herd would start this argument.
Did you ever observe Miss Herd drink alcohol?
I did.
How often?
It just varied. There would be, some days when I was working that I would see her. There would be other days I didn't see her or she was out of town working. So it just really depended on when she was around. And when she was around, for the most part, she was drinking. Sometimes I'd see a glass in her hand and sometimes I'd see her, have 2 glasses if I was in the presence of her and Mr. Depp, obviously.
Based on your observations, did it ever appear that Miss Herd was intoxicated?
There were times when I went into the Penthouse or we were at the Hollywood estate and, based on my training experience in law enforcement, I could tell she was
Objection, Your Honor.
slightly intoxicated.
Excuse me.
That's kind of getting into the realm of expert testimony. He's not a designated expert.
All right.
Perhaps we can have him answer the question without any citing to any experience in law enforcement, Mr. Bett?
I'll just sustain the objection. Let's go to the next question.
Okay, understood. Do you recall observing any arguments between Mr. Depp and Miss Herd?
Several.
Can you tell the jury about one that comes to mind?
There was an incident, for example, I just happened to be on the floor of their penthouse, which is on the top floor of this building. I was outside by the pool area reading a book, and when I was walking back past their door, I could hear shouting. I could hear her voice shouting, at a very high pitch. So I didn't rush in right away or anything. I just kind of stood by the door. He was, speaking with her, and then the voices, the shouting dissipated, and then, there was music playing, and then they started talking. So I kind of just stood by the door briefly, and then I went into another section of the penthouse floor.
Do you recall approximately the time frame of that argument?
As far as the year or how long it lasted?
I'm sorry. Thank you, Mr. Bett. The year.
That could have been perhaps 2012, 2013, maybe a little thereafter.
Did Miss Herd ever confide in you about her relationship with Mr. Depp?
Briefly.
Do you recall her saying anything in particular about her relationship with Mr. Depp?
There was a couple occasions. There was one occasion in which they had an argument at his West Hollywood address. Johnny told me, just take her downtown to the penthouse so she can relax and cool off. As we were driving downtown, she was crying. This was at the point when the arguing was taking place quite frequently. And I was telling her, I said, Amber, this can't continue. You guys are either going to kill each other or you're going to be in jail. And, with tears and everything, she says, but I love him and I'm not going to lose him. And I says, but you guys can't keep doing this. So we eventually got to the downtown apartments. She said, thank you. I dropped her off. And then I went back to the West Hollywood address.
What did you mean by, this can't continue when you told Miss Herd that?
The constant arguing and bickering and so forth, because as I said, it was slowly progressing and, it was just going to turn out bad eventually.
I believe you testified earlier that you observed many arguments between Mr. Depp and Miss Herd. Do you recall anything that Miss Herd said to Mr. Depp while they were arguing?
There was an incident because, as I said, the arguing progressed over and over as the years continued. He would text me when I was working saying,
Objection, Your Honor. Calls for hearsay.
All right, I'll sustain that objection if you want to.
Mr. Bett, if you could just focus on what you overheard Miss Herd say while observing arguments between Mr. Depp and Miss Herd.
I overheard her saying to him, when, she went to throw a water bottle or a plastic cup down the stairs and it bounced kind of in Johnny's direction, but I ended up getting him and we, got out of there as soon as possible.
Did you ever see Miss Herd throw anything other than a water bottle?
It was a water bottle or a coffee cup. It was something plastic.
Other than a water bottle or a plastic cup, did you ever see Miss Herd throw anything else?
No, other than what he told me when she threw a broken bottle and sliced his finger.
Sir, I'll sustain the objection. The jury will strike that testimony. Please just answer the question asked, and when there's an objection, do not speak, okay?
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
After observing several arguments between Mr. Depp and Miss Herd, what happened next?
As far as a time frame, well, as I said, the arguing, when it would continue, we would always, I'd put him in the car and we'd drive back to his West Hollywood address, at which point it just depended on the week or the day or the month. They would reconcile within hours, or it might take a day where he would stay overnight at his West Hollywood address. And then, I would take him back the next day, and, they would reconcile by, talking, and she would have, candles lit, or, a bottle of wine open with glasses, and, within, certain evenings, I'd get a text message from her, asking me to go pick up dinner at local restaurants they frequented.
Did you ever see any violence between Miss Herd and Mr. Depp?
No.
Other than the occasion when you saw Miss Herd throw something plastic in Mr. Depp's direction, did you ever see Miss Herd hit Mr. Depp?
No.
Interesting that he just testified he's never seen any violence between the two, but he also testified that he told Amber, you're going to kill each other or be in jail. You're not going to miss any of this testimony. We do need to take a break, but we will hit the pause button when we come back. We're going to take you right back in where we left off.
Lee from Copperfit.
On the stand right now, you have private security for Johnny Depp, and I must point out some inconsistencies. He's testified, number one, no physical violence, but number two, he also told Amber, you're going to kill each other or end up in jail. So which version is correct? We hit the pause button. You haven't missed anything as he continues to describe the violence that he didn't see. Let's go back to court.
Physical injuries on Miss Herd.
I didn't.
Did you ever see any physical injuries on Miss Herd on occasions after Mr. Depp and Miss Herd argued?
Objection, Your Honor. Foundation.
All right, you want to lay a time frame to that?
Absolutely.
Sure.
On the occasions that you witnessed Miss Herd and Mr. Depp argue, after that, did you ever see any physical injuries on Miss Herd?
That's
the exact
the
same
same question.
Okay,
All right,
move on.
okay.
At any point during Miss Herd's and Mr. Depp's relationship, did you ever see any injuries on Miss Herd?
No.
How about on Mr. Depp?
Yes.
When did you observe injuries on Mr. Depp?
The first time would have been around 2014, I guess, in which he had his finger was damaged from an incident in Australia.
Do you know how Mr. Depp's finger was damaged?
Objection. Foundation.
Foundation?
It's just background if he knows. I won't ask the
I'll
following
sustain the
question.
objection unless he was in Australia and saw it himself.
Okay.
Okay.
When else did you see injuries on Mr. Depp?
I saw another injury around, would have been March of 2015. He had a swollen kind of cheekbone eyelid.
Your Honor, if I may please pull up a photograph, exhibit number 146,
All right, just to the witness? Okay.
just for the witness, that's
Okay.
correct.
I'm sorry, 146?
Yes, thank you, Your
Thank
Honor.
you.
And that's plaintiffs, obviously.
Plaintiffs,
Exhibit 146. Mr. Bett, do you recognize this photograph?
I do,
And how do you recognize it?
because I took that picture.
Why did you take this photograph?
Well, we needed it as evidence in case Miss Herd tried to make allegations towards Mr. Depp. I was emphatic with him, telling him that's a serious mark and we need to photograph it.
I'll just move to strike for foundation.
I'll allow that answer, but thank you.
And when did you take this photograph?
It would have been around March of 2015.
Your Honor, we ask that this photograph please be published to the jury and admitted into evidence.
Any objection to 146?
No, Your Honor.
All right, 146 in evidence and be published to the jury. Thank you.
Mr. Bett, what does this photograph show?
It depicts a swollen upper left cheekbone with redness to it.
Thank you. Did you notice any other injuries on Mr. Depp?
On that specific day, no.
Later in time, did you ever notice any other injuries on Mr. Depp?
I did.
Can you please describe what you recall?
It was around December of that same year, 2015. He got into an argument with Miss Herd and she scratched him and he had injuries.
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustain the objection. Only your observation, sir, what you saw.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Still with us for final thoughts, attorneys Josh Schiffer, Anton Bell. Josh, let me start with you first. Credible or not, this head of security?
I think the defense is going to rip him apart. This has not been a strong showing for the plaintiff, in my opinion.
All right, Anton, let me ask you something a little different. Definition of domestic violence. Do you think that that picture meets the definition?
It would meet the definition of domestic violence. However, we need to know if she actually was the one that inflicted that particular wound. This particular witness has shown his bias multiple times and has been caught in contradictory testimony. So I'm not even sure if that injury was caused by Herd. And if it is caused by Herd, then absolutely it could be the definition of domestic violence.
And one of the things we've been talking about in credibility, and as I'll just mention it, is credibility of this witness to say, oh, well, I've never seen him very intoxicated. But on the other hand, the picture painted of Amber was she drinks, she drinks, she drinks. So all of the jury is going to have to decide, is he a credible witness or not? Thank you, Josh Schiffer and Anton Bell, for being with us today. I also, of course, want to thank all of you at home for joining us. This is it for me. Don't go anywhere. Anchor Michael Ayala is up next. He is going to have more of this live trial here on Court TV, your front row seat to justice.
3200 now.
Hello, and welcome back to Court TV Live. I'm Michael Ayala. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. Truly appreciate you being here with me. Now, we have live trial going on out there in Virginia. So what we're going to do is we're going to take you right back out to the courtroom out there. On the stand is a former security guard for Johnny Depp. And really, at the end of the day, today's testimony really follows up what was a truly explosive week. And we're expecting another dramatic one this week. Let's take a look back at some of the stuff from last week.
You were telling your brother, Johnny Depp, to stop using cocaine, correct?
No, I wrote those words, but that's what I'm saying. I don't know that I was telling him to stop doing that.
Amber turns to me and she says, Johnny came by last night, he got violent. I say to Amber as I'm walking up, he hit you?
I specifically remember standing in her office where she leapt up out of her chair, put her face approximately 4 inches from my face as she was spitting in my face.
Have you been watching the trial this past week?
I've seen clips of it online, yeah.
All right, you're excused, ma'am. You can have your excuse.
Now, this week, we are expecting some high-profile witnesses, including Elon Musk, actors James Franco, Paul Bettany, and Ellen Barkin, possibly. And there is a chance, folks, that this week Johnny Depp could take the stand in his own defense. Now, today in court, a videotaped deposition was played featuring Depp's former private nurse. She testified about Depp's opiate addiction and his attempts to detox on his own private island. Take a listen.
When you were on the island, you were personally overseeing Mr. Depp's detox process, correct? Correct.
But what substances was Mr. Depp detoxing from?
Opiate.
What is that process? And what does that process do to the person physically?
They go through withdrawal symptoms and we medicate them.
And what type of withdrawal symptoms have you observed?
Nausea, vomiting, body aches, hypoerection, rhinorrhea, restlessness, anxiety.
Is there a time during the detox process when those symptoms are typically the most acute?
Yeah.
What stage in the process is that?
Typically day 3 through 5 or 6.
How would you describe Mr. Depp's physical state throughout the detox process?
I don't recall specifics. I'd have to refer to my notes.
Fair to say that this note reflects that Mr. Depp was experiencing discomfort on this date?
According to my notes, yes.
It says he was experiencing muscle spasms, chills, and pains, right?
Correct.
Now remember, Johnny Depp has to show this court, contrary to Amber Heard's claims, he was not a wife beater. We want to get you back into court now, where Depp's head of security, Sean Bett, is on the stand testifying about Depp's injuries allegedly sustained at the hands of Heard.
That you saw on Mr. Depp.
Yes, he had scratch marks around his nose area, I believe on one of the sides of his face, in the cheek area, and then on his forehead.
And if we could just have, just published to the witness, plaintiff's exhibit number 65.
65.
And Mr. Bett, this is a 3-page document, so if I can have Mr. Arnold Blair please scroll down.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Do you recognize these photographs?
I do,
And how do you recognize them?
because I took them.
When did you take them?
Mid-December 15th.
And why did you take these photographs?
I took him to show proof that he once again had injuries sustained in an altercation.
Your Honor, we'll move to publish these photographs to the jury and for admittance.
All right, any objection to 65?
No, Your Honor.
All right, 65 in evidence, it can be published.
And Mr. Bett, would you please describe what we're looking at here?
The first picture, there's a laceration on the left side of his nose. It looks like the left upper cheek has a slight bruise to it. And then on his forehead, right above the ridgeline, just almost to the center, it looks like there's a red scratch mark above his left eye and to the right.
Do you see that in the same subsequent pictures in page 2?
Okay, page 2, I see a scratch mark, a vertical scratch mark adjacent to his right ear on the right side of his face.
Same question for page 3.
Page 3, there's a scratch mark on the lower right portion of his chin. There's that same scratch mark on the center left side of his nose, and you could see the frontal portion of that bruise that's on the left side under his eye.
Were you surprised to see Mr. Depp with these injuries?
Objection, leading.
All right, I sustain as to leading.
Did you ever see any similar injuries on Miss Herd?
None.
Did you ever see any injuries on Miss Herd?
I didn't.
Did Miss Herd ever tell you she was being abused by Mr. Depp?
She didn't.
Did she ever ask you for help?
No.
Did you ever see any evidence that Miss Herd was being abused by Mr. Depp?
I didn't.
Turning to April 21st, 2016, Mr. Betts, do you remember anything about that day?
Yes, that was the day or evening that Miss Herd was celebrating her birthday with some friends.
Do you recall what birthday Miss Herd was celebrating?
I'm sorry?
Do you recall what birthday Miss Herd was celebrating?
I believe it was her 30th, 29th or 30th.
Your Honor, if we may, can we just remove the exhibits?
Oh, yeah,
Thank
sorry.
you.
Thank you.
Other than Miss Herd's birthday celebration that evening, do you recall anything else about April 21st, 2016?
He had a meeting that afternoon, and which extended into the evening, and that was as I said, the night of her birthday party, where they got into another argument, and she had struck him in the face.
All right,
Objection, move to strike, Your Honor.
sir, if you didn't see it, you can't testify to it, correct?
Correct.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
The jury will strike that answer. Thank you.
Your Honor. Were you with Mr. Depp when he attended the meeting that you mentioned earlier?
I was.
Okay. And if you know, who was that meeting with?
It was with his accountant,
And who is Mr. Depp's accountant?
Ed White.
And where did that meeting take place?
It took place at his old production office in the Los Angeles area.
What happened after the meeting ended?
When the meeting ended, we drove to his West Hollywood address, which might have been maybe 5-10 minutes away. He had to go inside the house and retrieve something. I don't know what it was. We were only there a short period of time. We were kind of rushing because, we had been running late because it was a birthday dinner. And then we eventually left thereafter and headed back down to the Penthouses downtown Los Angeles.
And how would you describe Mr. Depp's demeanor after the meeting ended with Mr. White?
To me, he looked fine. You could tell he was in a hurry, and he was, telling me, okay, we got to hurry up and go to the house real quick before we go downtown. But other than that, he appeared fine to me.
And based on your observations, Mr. Bett, did Mr. Depp appear to you to be intoxicated?
He didn't.
I believe you testified that after you left the meeting, you went to Mr. Depp's home, his residence in West Hollywood, and then on to the Eastern Columbia building. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. What happened after you arrived at the Penthouses for Miss Herd's birthday dinner?
We went upstairs, and she was having a dinner with her friends, and one of the penthouses, I believe it was penthouse number 5. We entered the front door to that penthouse. Amber stood up. She walked towards Mr. Depp. She had a look of, you could tell she was upset the fact that he was late. Mr. Depp apologized to everybody, apologized to Amber, and, told her, sorry, baby, or words to that effect for being late. She gave him a hug and a kiss and said, come sit down, sugar.
Was that a common nickname Miss Herd used for Mr. Depp?
Yes, she used to call him that quite frequently in front of me.
Approximately what time did you arrive to the Eastern Columbia building?
It would have been somewhere between maybe 9 and 10 o'clock in the evening.
Do you know what time the birthday dinner for Miss Herd was scheduled to start?
I can't remember the exact time.
Do you recall how late you and Mr. Depp were to the birthday dinner?
I knew we were running behind, but as I said, I didn't know actually what time the dinner was starting.
And once you arrived at the Penthouses at the Eastern Columbia building, did you go inside?
Briefly, I had a couple of Mr. Depp's computer bags and bags with me, and I just set them down in the corner, and then I exited thereafter.
How long did you stay at the Eastern Columbia building after exiting the Penthouse?
I was probably there perhaps maybe another hour or two, and then I would have been relieved by the night shift security personnel, Travis McGivern.
Did you happen to work the next day on April 22nd, 2016?
I did.
Where did you start working on that day?
On that day, I drove to his West Hollywood address because Mr. McGivern had sent me a text message stating they had an argument.
Objection, hearsay.
All right, I'll sustain as the hearsay.
Why did you start your shift at the Sweetser property or Mr. Depp's West Hollywood property as opposed to the Eastern Columbia building?
Because that's where Mr. Depp was at the time.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to stop the tape right where it is. We'll get you right back into the courtroom. You will not miss a thing. Keep it right here on Court TV.
ShopGuilt.com today.
Hello, and welcome back to Court TV Live. I'm Michael Ayala. We're continuing our coverage of the Depp dueling defamation suits. Johnny Depp is actually suing his ex-wife, Amber Heard. She is also suing him as well. On the stand this afternoon has been Sean Bett, who's a former security guard for Johnny Depp. Two things about security guards. Number one, they see a lot. They see just about everything. And also, they're fiercely loyal. I think some of that's playing out in the testimony of Sean Bett. Let's get back into the courtroom for his continued direct examination.
Do you recall anything specific about that day, April 22nd, 2016?
Just he had told me they had a...
I'll sustain objection. You cannot say what he told you, sir.
Sorry.
I'm sure you've testified before, correct?
I have.
Yes, thank you.
Did you see Mr. Depp when you arrived to his West Hollywood home on April 22nd, 2016?
I did.
Did you observe any injuries on Mr. Depp?
I didn't.
In this time frame of April 2016, do you recall Mr. Depp's mother having any health problems?
Yes.
What do you recall about her health problems?
At that time, she was very critical. She had been suffering from cancer for some time, a few years, I believe. And at that stage, she was slowly deteriorating. So it was approximately a month before she passed.
Do you recall when she passed away?
I believe it was around May 20th, 19th.
And how did you learn that she had passed away?
Mr. Depp told me.
And again, based on your observations, how would you describe Mr. Depp's demeanor when he informed you that his mother had passed away?
Well, he just lost his mother, so he was, you could tell he was, very sad, and he was mourning. And so I just left him alone until he needed me for whatever I had to do for him that day.
And to your knowledge, Mr. Bett, when was the next time Mr. Depp saw Miss Herd?
Maybe a month later, sometime in May.
And I'm sorry, was that a month after the birthday dinner on April 21st, 2016?
Objection, leading.
I'll sustain as to leading.
To your knowledge, after April 21st, 2016, when did Mr. Depp next see Miss Herd?
In my presence, he would have seen her May 21st.
And was that after Mr. Depp's mother passed away?
Correct. That would have been a day after she passed.
I have approximately 10, 15 minutes left.
I'll let you finish. Is that okay with the jury? We'll finish at least the direct. Okay.
Thank you.
That's fine.
Turning to May 21st, 2016, please tell us what you remember about that day.
That day we were at his West Hollywood address. Jerry Judge, his chief security guard, was with me and with us at the estate at the time. Later on in that evening, Mr. Depp told us that he wanted to go down and retrieve some items from the penthouse. And he also wanted to talk briefly with Miss Herd.
Objection hearsay, Your Honor.
All right.
It's just to establish.
All right. They want to talk to Ms. Herd. That's fine. We'll leave it at that. Next question.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. So you were working on May 21st, is that right?
I was.
Okay. Did you end up taking Mr. Depp to the penthouses at Eastern Columbia Building?
I did, and Mr. Judge was along with me as well.
And do you remember approximately what time you arrived at the penthouses?
It would have been sometime after 7:30, maybe 7:45, 7:15, around that time frame.
And was that in the evening?
It was.
Did you enter the penthouses with Mr. Depp?
I did, myself and Jerry Judge and Mr. Depp.
And what did you see when you first entered the penthouse?
When we first walked in, on the center island in the kitchen, there were candles lit on the table. There was a couple wine glasses that were empty, and there was a bottle of wine that was open. There was also music playing in the background through the speakers that were in the wall.
Did you see Miss Herd when you first entered the penthouse?
I didn't.
What happened after you entered the penthouses?
After we entered the penthouses, Jerry Judge told Johnny that myself and...
Yes.
Objection hearsay.
All right. I'll sustain the objection. All right. Next question.
Okay. Did you stay inside the penthouse with Mr. Judge and Mr. Depp?
No, shortly thereafter, Mr. Judge and I exited the penthouse and stood outside the door briefly.
How long would you estimate that you stood outside the door of the penthouse?
It would have been approximately maybe 10 minutes, maybe a little bit more, a little bit less.
And after standing outside the penthouse for 10 minutes, give or take, where did you go next?
We walked down the hallway to penthouse number 5. Penthouse number 5 has 2 doors. There's a main entrance that takes you into the living room. Next to it, around the corner, it's a continuation of the penthouse, which is like a storage area. It also has, it had a couch at the time and a TV for the security personnel. So once we were at the penthouses, we could go in there, have lunch or dinner, or watch a little bit of TV. And then, whenever Mr. Depp or Miss Herd would leave and I'd have to drive, or the other security personnel, we would get a text, or they would come and knock on the door, and we would leave.
And when you first arrived to the penthouses with Mr. Depp, based on your observations, was he drinking?
He had some glasses of wine at the meeting he was at with his accountant.
Apologies, Mr. Bett. I meant on May 21st, 2016.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Did you observe Mr. Depp drinking any alcohol that day?
He might have had a glass of wine in the car, but as far as the entire day, I wouldn't have known how much he drank.
Did he appear intoxicated to you when he arrived?
All right, we're going to take a quick break, but what I want to let you know is that we have some breaking news for you. I understand through our producers and sources that they're citing that Johnny Depp is scheduled to testify tomorrow. That's right, we promised you a big week, a blockbuster week, and we are delivering. In fact, his team is delivering. Johnny Depp is scheduled, in fact, to testify tomorrow. So that should be interesting. You'll definitely want to tune in here to Court TV. We will have it all for you. Let me bring in my guest for this hour for a quick touch-in. That's State Attorney in Palm Beach County, Florida, Dave Arenberg. Dave, thank you so much for joining me this evening. Truly appreciate it. Let me start off with the fact that we just found out Johnny Depp is scheduled to testify tomorrow. I don't know if that means essentially that they're coming to the end of their case, but certainly we can expect him to take the stand and really just talk about some of these situations that he found himself in with Amber Heard, and it's going to really come down to how credible this jury finds him.
Yeah, Michael, good to be back on with you. I think that's for all the money tomorrow. I mean, that's the key. All these other witnesses are fine, but the jury's going to remember what Johnny Depp said. They're going to remember what Amber Heard said. Those are the two most important days of the trial. So tomorrow is definitely must-see TV. As far as this guy, his monotone, I don't know, is not probably going to sit well with the jury, let alone his obsequiousness. It's clear that he has a bias towards Johnny Depp. He works for him. He's a security director. So I don't think the jury's going to get a lot out of this. I yearn for the time when we heard from Johnny Depp's best friend with that thick Brooklyn accent. That guy was entertaining. This guy a little bit less so.
You know, I think they both have issues with credibility as well because of their loyalty to Johnny Depp. I mean, necessarily, if you're going to have an entourage of folks who are the ones who are going to see what's going on, they're going to have that connection. This guy, though, comes off, and I've said this before, I know a lot of people who do security for various celebrities, both in the music and in the film and television world. And there's two things I know about them. They see a lot, that's number one, but number two, they are fiercely loyal. And I think this guy certainly is credible in terms of what he might have seen, but I think his testimony and his delivery make it seem as if he's extremely biased, and that's really, I think, his problem.
Exactly. The neighbor from Brooklyn who he paid for his rent, came across, in my mind, more credible than him because he was animated. It just seemed like he was real. This guy is making lots of conclusory statements. I understand he may not know the hearsay rules, but he is making conclusions about Amber Heard and about Johnny Depp without even knowing firsthand what happened. And so I think that comes across poorly in front of the jury, especially so many times there have been objections that have been sustained by this judge. So I don't think he's going to win a lot of points. Maybe that's one reason why they're like, all right, let's rush up Johnny to the jury stand, to the stand to testify tomorrow because they want to maybe change momentum back in Johnny Depp's favor.
Well, that's interesting. So you're saying that the possibility is they're calling him tomorrow because maybe they feel like the momentum is leaving them. Because that's interesting. What I was going to say is after last week, a lot of the people, there was an informal poll, people around and online, people that I know personally, were all feeling that he was doing well, that I think they're predisposed to like Johnny Depp, and so there was I think a small part of confirmation bias. They were hearing what they wanted to hear. They were not liking Amber Heard. They were liking Johnny Depp more. So I didn't feel like they were suffering momentum-wise. You think today has sort of stalled that a little bit?
That's the sense I get, Michael. I agree with the viewers that I thought Johnny Depp had a good week last week. I thought the momentum was with him. I thought his next door neighbor was a great witness. I didn't think his sister was a good witness, mind you, but I thought the other witnesses were good for him. And I think today's been a bit of a drop off for Johnny Depp. And that may be a reason why they want to get him back on the stand. But, you know, there's so many reasons why they may want to put him on. I'm just speculating, but I think it's all for the money tomorrow. Johnny Depp's testimony will be the most important testimony of this trial, with maybe Amber Heard's coming in next.
And so I have to ask you, David, is star power real? And by that, I mean, it goes back to my statement before that a lot of folks, the sense I got was they're predisposed to like Johnny Depp for a million reasons, right? Not the fact that he's just a big star, it's someone that they grew up with. And so when he takes the stand, our jurors, the general public, the court of public opinion, are they more likely to want to believe what he says? I think that's a big question that surrounds this trial.
Yes, that's why I can't wait to see the cross-examination. Because, yeah, he's going to get a lot of favorable questions, open-ended questions, and he is an actor. He's going to portray a role on the stand. He's going to dress the way he's used to dressing, with the long hair and the facial hair and the dark shirts. But I think that'll go a long way for direct examination. It could turn against him if he starts stammering and starts contradicting himself on cross-examination. You know, those lawyers for Amber Heard are relishing the chance to cross-examine him. It should be really interesting, and we'll see. But you're right. When you're a celebrity like Johnny Depp, you have a separate set of rules that apply just to you. And it's my job as a state attorney, by the way, and we've had high-profile defendants in high-profile cases, to make sure we have equal justice under the law. It's always tough, though, when you have jurors coming from all different walks of life who may be fans of Johnny Depp and have that inherent confirmation bias to want to root for him on the stand.
Yeah, no doubt. And again, I want to repeat our breaking news. Our understanding is sources have confirmed Johnny Depp is scheduled to take the stand tomorrow. So you'll want to have your dial and your television tuned in to Court TV, because we will bring it all to you. So keep it right here again on Court TV Live. We'll be back in just a moment with more from out there in Virginia. So keep it right here.
The sell-off buildings.
I'm Tanley Painter in Fairfax, Virginia for the Johnny Depp defamation case. And this is Court TV, your front row seat to justice.
Hello, welcome back to Court TV Live. I'm Michael Ayala. I want to repeat the breaking news that we had just before the break, that we are expected, sources are confirming that Johnny Depp will take the stand tomorrow, so you do not want to miss that. On the stand right now, as I get ready to take you back to the courtroom, is Sean Bett. He is a former security guard for Johnny Depp. So far, he's basically told this jury things like he hadn't seen Johnny Depp drunk very often, which raised a few eyebrows. He also said that he saw Amber drink a lot more than Depp, so again, raised a few eyebrows. He also was able to get in a photo that he took of Depp that he claims showed injuries that he received from Amber Heard, but he did not see them. He just took photos of his face, and those were shown to the jury. So let me get you back into the courtroom now for continued direct examination of Sean Bett, former security guard for Johnny Depp.
So you went to the storage area of the Penthouse area. How long were you there?
We might have been there maybe 10 minutes, 5 minutes. We got something to drink, and then we exited that penthouse I described, or that penthouse storage area.
And where did you go next?
We walked down the hall towards Mr. Depp's penthouse, which would have been penthouse number 3.
And did you stand outside the door, or did you go in?
As we approached the door, we could hear the screaming and shouting from Miss Herd. So I immediately opened up the door, and Mr. Judge and I ran in there.
What do you remember Miss Herd screaming or shouting?
It appeared she was shouting profanities. So once Mr. Judge and I went through the front door, Mr. Depp would have been standing directly in front of us, maybe about 20 feet, because parallel to us walking in or running in, there was a wall. It was the way the kitchen was set up, it was almost like an L shape. So you walk in, and then you'd have to make a left. So Mr. Depp would have been standing in front of us, and he glanced at us. As soon as Mr. Judge and I rounded the corner, I saw Miss Herd standing next to her good friend, Raquel Pennington.
And how was Miss Herd standing? Where were her hands?
Her hands would have been in this motion. Once Mr. Judge and I rounded that corner and she saw both Jerry and I, she had this look of surprise on her face, and then she looked at Mr. Depp and us, and she shouted out loud, "This is the last time you do this to me." At which point Mr. Depp looked at her and said, "What the hell are you talking about?" At that point, Mr. Judge tapped Mr. Depp on the arm and told him, "Boss, let's leave." So we gathered, there was a couple of computer bags that was right on a table, and we exited the front door to penthouse number 3.
Based on your observations, did you have a clear view of Miss Herd?
I did.
Did you have a clear view of her face?
I did.
Did you observe any injuries on Miss Herd's face?
I didn't.
Did you see any redness,
I didn't.
swelling?
None.
Was Miss Herd holding her face?
She wasn't.
So what happened next?
We exited Penthouse number 3 and we walked down the hallway. Right when we were getting close to Penthouse number 5 door, Mr. Depp says, I need to get in here and look for something. So I opened up the door for him. We went inside, and that's when I saw Miss Herd's friend, Raquel Pennington's boyfriend, Josh Drew, and another unknown female that I'd never seen before. And there was a small dog kind of walking around. Mr. Depp. The female picked up the dog, and they exited the front door to that penthouse.
What did Mr. Depp do next?
He was walking around the kitchen area, living room area. He might have gone upstairs briefly. I can't remember. I don't know what he was looking for. I didn't ask him. Mr. Judge didn't ask him. Eventually, he didn't find whatever he was looking for, and we exited Penthouse number 3.
And while Mr. Depp was in Penthouse number 3, did you observe him cause any damage?
No.
Did you observe him cause any damage to any of the penthouses on May 21st, 2016?
No.
Did you see Mr. Depp become violent with anyone while at the penthouses on May 21st, 2016?
Objection leading.
I'll allow it. That's fine.
I didn't.
Mr. Bett, have you ever seen Mr. Depp become violent with Miss Herd?
I haven't.
Thank you. I have nothing further.
All right. You can stay right there, sir. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the testimony for today. So I'll release you. We'll be back here at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Please have a safe, quiet night. Please take care of yourself. Take your vitamins. We need you. And we will see you in the morning. Don't talk to anybody and don't do any outside research, okay? All right, thank you.